The signs are all there.
The United Nations has declared a climate emergency, calling it a code red for humanity.
Scientists say the planet is warming faster than at any time in at least 2,000 years.
It is unequivocal.
This is the beginning of a permanent emergency.
But what if it's all hogwash? What if what we've really had this year is nothing more than what folks used to call a hot summer, and not even close to the hottest summer this nation has ever experienced?
A heat wave in America, and hundreds of thousands leave New York.
The summer heat this year wasn't even close to 1936.
The 1930s were really when the terrible heat waves were.
Tony Heller of RealClimateScience.com is an environmentalist who, as an electrical engineer, helped develop the modern computer microprocessor. His website has become a collection of weather history which shows it was a lot hotter 90 and 100 years ago than it is today.
The claims that summers are getting hotter are simply not true. During 1936, 21 states set their all-time temperature record, and none set them this year.
In the 1930s, most of the nation saw temperatures over 100 degrees. Without air conditioning, it was common for families to sleep outdoors. Many thousands died, and what would become known as the Dust Bowl forced the migration of 3.5 million climate refugees out of the Great Plains and Midwest, many of them to California.
During the 1930s, places like Wisconsin were seeing temperatures of 114 degrees. North Dakota was 121 degrees. 100-degree temperatures were very common in the Midwest prior to about 1960, but since 1960, they've become much less common.
But what about wildfires? News reports suggest they're getting a lot more common. But the record shows wildfire burn acreage is down 90% from the 1920s and 30s. One reason wildfires seem to have increased is because the wildfire data before 1983 has been erased. The website of the National Interagency Fire Center used to show how wildfires were much worse in the 1920s and 30s. That has been removed. The reason given by the National Interagency Fire Center? Prior to 1983, the federal wildland fire agencies did not track official wildfire data using current reporting processes. So now when the media visit the website, it shows wildfires steadily getting worse. Heller also shows how NASA has changed its historic weather data. This NASA temperature graph from 1999 showed the warmest temperatures in the 1900s were in the 1920s and 30s. Sometime later, NASA changed the graph, and it now shows U.S. temperatures getting warmer. Joe Bastardi is chief forecaster at weatherbell.com and the author of The Weaponization of Weather in the Phony Climate War. He says catastrophic weather events such as Hurricane Ida are used to show a climate emergency, when hurricanes just as strong hit this continent hundreds of years ago.
It is astounding what you see going on today as far as the weaponization of each and every weather event. Climate does change. The weather is always changing. The very nature of our creation demands change and reaction. What I do mind is people with a one-sided perspective that won't give people the total picture.
But this isn't just a debate about weather. It's costing you money. The Green New Deal proposed by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could cost as much as $93 trillion. And most of us are already paying more in taxes because of the belief in a climate emergency that the weather record suggests doesn't exist. Dale Hurd, CBN News.